Man, leading EMIY, served over 20,000 youth through speaking, coaching, and mentoring. He has inspired us for years. Welcome to EMIY TV Podcast with your host, Calvin T. Mann, the Encourager.
Good evening. Good evening and good evening. I am your host, Calvin T. Mann, and this is EMIY TV. We're coming to you live from the studio, and I know you're probably tripping on the voice as I'm sitting here having this conversation with you. I wanted to be intellectual this evening. I didn't want to clown. Considering that we're doing the... All right, Dave. All right.
Well, all righty then.
Right. So welcome to EMIY TV. We're back. Shout out to Miles Dixon.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Right.
Yeah.
Miles, what up, though?
Today is a good day, right? Today is Monday the 17th. We're prepping for the Fatherhood Unity Month. If you haven't, you should get out there. Go to thegoodfathersonly.com. Get your husbands, your fathers, your uncles, your brothers, your cousins, all the men you know that are fathers. Get them a gift. They don't want the plaid shirt no more. We retired from the plaid shirt in the 80s. We want a little something else, right? And so go to thegoodfathersonly.com. We're going to be banging all the month of June, and we're excited for that. To really make that difference. Dave, today is a good day, man. The mentoring has me tired. I've been pretty tired, right? So, today I took it easy, and, I did a number of things, but I still took it easy, right? And I found that I was just a little bit mentally in a fog. I've been this way for a few days, and I'm sure it's from the work. And I don't know what to say, but today we're gonna talk business, right? We're gonna talk business. Is this us right here?
Yeah, we live.
Okay, good. That's it right there. I wanted to make sure. Yeah. So today we're talking to BSN. Business Shower Network was and is a great concept that we're involved in. Sitting in several types of rooms. Dave, we talked about this before, but I always felt that, right, when you isolate yourself in business, you isolate yourself in business, right? And so you should always create a product that everyone can buy, right? And that's always been my thing, right? And loyalty was our thing, right? We started the Business Shower Network literally by me saying, if you can't be loyal, right? If you can't be integrous, get out. But I put an expletive in there. We didn't want nothing to do with that. If you can't share the information, we didn't want nothing to do with that, right? Of course, my better half, right, jumps on my head, right, and says, well, you just can't do it that way. Right? And so you got to do it this way. You got to look at it right. So, we back and forth, and we came up with a pretty impressive group. Now, I say that, Dave, because it's working. Right? So the very thing that everyone wants to happen is happening with us.
Okay, very good.
Right? So they say, a number of people say, you should circulate. Well, one of the moves in our Business Shower Network is we take $1 or $20 or $100, whatever's in our hand or our pocket. And before COVID, the groups was getting huge, right? But we take that and we pass that around, signifying the circulation of the dollar. We didn't mind anyone being there, any business being there, right? But the basics of it. So I'm gonna give you a quick glimpse. Although I cannot find my reading glasses. I can read from a distance, right?
So you feel like Ray Charles, I know what you like, baby.
Yeah, I know what you
like. I can feel your wrist, baby. So I feel my way around.
Right. So the purpose of BSN to establish standards, expectations, and direction for our collective of entrepreneurs designed to lead to a more focused and cohesive business network. BSN leverages existing resources, capacity, intellectual capital for the advancement of the economic growth of each member. Each one will reach one and teach one as we move the collective to a position of both political and economic leverage. Right? Through the consensus, right? So everyone is participating. Am I doing good, Heather? Are you able to talk, or you just...
I hope you can hear me.
Okay, good. Right. So the very first thing, through consensus, the following were identified as expectations of members and attendees participating in BSN. Of course, there's always one. Right. So integrity, keeping our word, actions that results in a win-win mindset, village mindset. Loyalty, support the collective through participation, resources, and best intentions. Consistent attendance, attend regularly, contribute, fellowship. Support and network first. When seeking products or services for self and others, look to the network first to see if the need can be met within the circle. Right? Make sure everyone has access to tools. Right? Show up and bring someone. Expose other entrepreneurs who may bring value to events and meetings. Take action within 7 days after networking. Be proactive. Make follow-up and action a priority. Share information about upcoming events. Help others stay informed of what may be important opportunities to the network within communities and business. Commit to take your business to the level of hiring others. Now, that's big. Right? Hiring others. When you talk about hiring someone, right? You, in this group, you at a level 5. Some level 4s is doing it, right? And in that process, what you're finding in hiring is the what do we call that? The customer service. The customer is your dollar. So we're going to spend a little second here, right? Because we talked about this before. And the customer is your dollar. The customer service, the person that walks through the door, how you treat that person, right? That is your check. We found that in a number of circles and areas, right, people hire and never train in customer service.
Right.
And you have kids and adults who are emotional, who've never been trained in customer service. Well, I know, and already got their mind made up. If this person say something to me, I'm gonna do such and such and such and such, and I ain't buying, this, that, and the other. Right. So your unemployment rate is pretty high. No one really wants to hire ignorance. It's a very tough sell, right? And it can hurt your business. Ego can hurt your business. And it's funny as we are talking about this, BSN has been a blessing to us, right? With that being said, Ms. Heather, would you like to contribute at this time?
Well, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of the team again today. So I'm excited about what we do with BSN because it really all ties into the work that we do collectively. Between you, me, Dave, and Crystal, it is all the work that we do collectively. And so this part of our work in terms of restoring our families, restoring our communities, this is that economic piece that helps to anchor the family. When we learn how to manage our dollars, and we do that through also through the 50/50 Accord that Crystal has launched, that is another education component that goes along with how we manage and sustain our business. So you can create a business because you have a gift or a vision or a business idea, but how does that increase your wealth as a family? How does it anchor your legacy for the generations to follow? And that 50/50 Accord piece gives us that education component, not only the economic base in terms of who our customers have the potential to be, but also the education on what we need to learn as a family, as an individual, as a community about our dollar and the importance of it. And so I was hoping that you would be here to be able to share more about the work and the vision of the 50/50 Accord and how that really folds well into what we do with the Business Shower Network, which is what BSN stands for. The other component that I'd like to spend a little bit of time with is really the idea that there are no coincidences. When you are given a vision, you are given the tools directly and indirectly to make that vision come to pass. If you are not moving toward the purpose or toward that vision, if you're not constantly walking towards it, you may miss opportunities to advance, to grow, to increase the opportunities for that business. And I think what we do with BSN is once you become a part, our goal is no one left behind. And so we need your economic base. We need you to continue to push toward that goal. So we have some built-in component supports to help you to keep going, to not get weary, to not get discouraged. So some of the tools that we have are, we have a book list that once you need some new ideas, we have a recommendation that different members support that give you some other tools beside what we have in the group. We offer or we pair accountability partners. Some of it is voluntary, some of it is voluntold. We put people together who might have a good fit and to help support each other because all of us have a resource. All of us have tools. All of us have experience and wisdom that we can add to not only our own business, but somebody else's business. So it's not that you have to have so many years experience in business. You just have to be present. You just have to be willing to share what you know. Because if you're not a business owner, you're a consumer. So you're either on one side or the other, depending on the moment that you're standing in. So your thoughts, your opinions are valuable to everybody that is a part of your team. So we need everybody's input. We need everybody's feedback to make sure that we can grow. And we grow as a collective because everybody's feedback, everybody's tools, everybody's resources at that table is important during our BSN meetings. And then the final tool that we have is the actual showering, where you, just like in a bridal shower or baby shower, you provide that business what it may need to get to the next level. Just like we bring new children into the world through a baby shower, we try to provide those basic things that you need to make sure that you have a good start. It's the same thing for the business shower, the same thing for a bridal shower, for marriage. You want that relationship to be prosperous. And so we gift those things to each other in that way. And it comes in in different forms. But the idea is that it's something that everybody collectively is contributing to that member who's being showered or those members who are being showered for that month. So there's a few things to add.
So in there, we're already affecting policy. So one of our members submitted and has been working toward making it better for women and their safety. She runs Damsel in Defense. And Rochelle, she has a number of products to help protect you from violence, crime, attacks, whatever the case may be. She have those tools, right? Mm-hmm. But she went to the state, her and the collective, to get the tasering law,
Stun gun
changed. Mm-hmm. And they're in the final stages, right? I sit on the fatherhood policy group where the 50-50 accord, right? Not the 50-50 accord, but the 50-50 shared parenting bill is at the crux of this, as well as I'm pushing the DNA testing at birth. Mm-hmm. I always get pushback on that, but sorry, I'm pushing it, right? So being involved in policy is important, and we do a number of things, right? Getting a little deeper into some of the businesses, right? So we have business classifications. This is almost... right? So we go from entertainment, legal services, financial insurance, apparel, health and beauty products and services, right? Wellness, health and wellness, books, publishing, protection products, training, educational services, marketing, promotions, administrative, businesses, community services, events, event planning, advocacy, politics, right? Allied products and services, technology, skills, trades, construction, repair, cleaning, hospitality service, catering, nonprofit services, grant writing and funding, networking, vendoring, photography, video, and then lawn, snow, all of that, right? So those are the business classifications that's involved, right? And so you got a number of people they're very talented, but how do you get that business right? One of the things, the areas we suffer, right, in my opinion, is the individual business being enough, right, to where you're hiring 100 to 300, right? Mm-hmm. That's still considered a small business, mm-hmm. but being able to hire that many people and care for that many people and their families, right? Because that's ultimately, we got to get out of the idea that this business was created just for me, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. right? So the individual business is what you see a lot of, right? It's just me, my, right? In the business, right? And so, I most definitely aired this out, but I don't want to be that type of business. I want to be a major business, mm-hmm. right? I want Encourage Me, I'm Young, Good Fathers Lonely, to have 10 floors, mm-hmm. right? And what does that look like if we don't, these people, right? So the people in the network, we literally have hired from within our circle. Mm-hmm. And we work mm-hmm. as much as possible to continue to move this model. And now that we're moving back into the public arena mm-hmm. and doing those things, this thing is going to be huge because for us, the numbers were high. Mm-hmm. And we were starting to really get the numbers of the people who understood, because our networking is different. Mm-hmm. We don't network like the other networking. We network different to solve your problems. Mm-hmm. Right, and so the information has to be shared. And I was on the phone the other day, and it talking to a brother, and he was like, "Well, Cal, do you share information?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Cool," and went to talking. I was like, "Is that bad, huh?" He's like, "Yeah, people don't share information." I said, "No, we share the information, but we don't share information with snakes, because all they do is hiss." Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We share information with people moving, mm-hmm. right, and making a difference, right? We don't get caught up in all that other. You come in just this group, we share the information. Bang, we sharing it. Mm-hmm. Bang, 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 we sharing it as much as possible, right? That's how we've built this thing, mm-hmm. right? On integrity and loyalty. Mm-hmm. That was the initial way of doing things. Here's a little bit of our, right here. Here's our book reading list. Everyday Millionaires. Chris Hogan, Gary Keller, The One Thing, Patrick Lencioni, The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team, Arbinger Institute, Leadership and Self-Deception, Joseph Walker, No Opportunity Wasted, T.D. Jakes, Destiny. Hey, listen, while we there, that Don't Drop the Mic, get that. I'm getting it. Right? James Fortune, Destiny Derailed, Dan Regal, Airman to CEO, Greg Hopkins, A Time to Kill. Recommended, we had different recommendations every month around the different types of books so we can improve. Right? So in all fairness, when you see when you say, this thing is moving, you see, it's really because we had this backbone. Right? So just like when we put up the billboard, it was Good Fathers Only and Amazing Women. Right? We had some other people help, but they put up majority of the money. Right? Here is the BSN objectives, right? And so Heather, if you can share how we actually move, and shout out Tiff is watching, right? Share how we are able to move in a consensus.
Having a consensus is really important to any team, any family, any organization, because a consensus is not the same as a compromise. A consensus is an agreement where everybody's voices are heard. And when you're in a compromise, what you're saying is, I will not push my part of the agenda to accept somebody else's. But what happens with compromise often is that you still hold on to the regret of your compromise, and then it shows up in a negative way sometimes following that event. And you always have regret that's following your decisions and your choices that come back up, and it comes back up in a form of sabotage. And so what we look at consensus is we look at everybody's voices being heard, because if you disagree, there's a reason why you disagree. And so we try to seek to find out what the reason is, so that becomes part of the decision making. And then that becomes part of the richness of the group, that your thoughts, values, expectations, opinions are really valued. But there's a reason why somebody would pause and not commit or fully agree. And so before we make final decisions on directions or new pathways or new policies within our group, we ask for consensus. And you can be a guest, but everybody that is on that call has a voice. Everybody has to agree to this process or help us to understand what the disagreement is and why you can't agree. And so that enriches us and educates us and helps us to look at not only just our work together, but look at the other areas where consensus can be valuable. It's not just, no, that's okay. Just go ahead. I'll just go along with it. We don't want you to go along with it. We want you to agree. There's a difference in going along and agreeing. And so we really press that as part of the value that each person's voice brings to our meetings and brings to our organization and how we continue to advance. So I believe consensus is an important tool to have at any table when you're trying to make a difference and trying to make progress.
And so we're doing some really good things, right? And so, in sharing that, right, we're not asking for permission to nobody, to none of this work that we do, right? And so with that being said, that might leave us or lock us out of some areas or whatever the case may be. God is running this show, so we just keep it moving. But that very process has this group is doing some remarkable things. Jamie has done a calendar, right? And the calendar has helped Amazing Women's and the Smash Suicide campaign. She literally created this calendar to give back, right? That's in the business shower, right? Amazing Woman has done things, the period parties, and making sure that women, homeless women, and other women have sanitary bags, gifts, care. Right? They've done this year after year. Right? So there is a lot of things happening within our group, which is it makes it almost unbelievable because you're not watching. You're hearing about it, but you're not watching. In the business shower, we're watching these great things happen. Tiffany is a bail bonds person, right? You know what I mean? We're watching these things happen. CAD, they do plays, right? Grant writing. We're watching these things happen. Your Inspired Journey helps women find their way, their path, their idea, their gifts, their space to be better in their relationships, in their community, to their children, right? We're watching these things, right? When you get into the Business Shower Network, you're looking at a number of things happen. Authors, children's books, right?
Products
on top of products, t-shirts, hats, jackets, right? Cake, mugs, pictures, like it's really happening. Whereas when people say, Dave, or when the system says, or anybody else says, they say, well, we don't see this. Well, we see it. And it's happening, right? And it's growing. And so that's the piece that I really like about the BSN, is that we're constantly moving the needle to etiquette school. Nicole Beecher does an etiquette school, has an etiquette school in Southfield, right? Teaching etiquette, right? And hosting weddings and a number of things in her space. Right. Like, these are the people who make up, right, this whole Business Shower Network.
And Calvin, I'd like to add something.
Sure. Loan me $2.
Me too.
I'd like to add that, Calvin, you mentioned before that we have a standard, and we have within that standard are levels. So you can come into the network with just an idea, or you can come in with an idea that's been sitting, that has been picking at you, that's been, you wanted to do something about it. And by coming in and by working with others and by following our format, it gives you some steps to take to help you continue to progress to your next level and the next level. So you come in with an idea at level 1, then you move to level 2, then you move to level 3. But all of these different things take place as you're moving up the level, up to a level where you can hire, and where your economy is higher.
Right. So that goes over to, right, the 50-50 Accord. In the 50-50 Accord is thousands, hundreds of businesses in the 50-50 Accord, right? Building a database to continue support of each other, right? That is Crystal's brainchild from Amazing Woman, right? People thought, again, here's another scenario. When I said that these people was picking my brain and we would go to the library, we was really pulling this stuff out. Now we continuously are working together, right? When it can't be done. Well, I don't know what's happening over here, right? And in that process, as we grow and grow, so does the BSN. Mm-hmm. So with us going to Alabama, so is BSN. Mm-hmm. You see? So because what happens is that you need those networks strengthened. Mm-hmm. Right? In order for your business to be successful, you have to have people who are willing to believe in the products, the service, the whole nine, right? And that's just, touching the hem, you know. Um, man, Carlton, before he moved to Atlanta, was doing plays. See? So we got to get him back on his place. Rashard, heating and cooling, shoes, repairing.
I know Rashard.
Right?
He did my furnace. Yeah. Really, really, really good guy.
Business Shower Network.
Yeah.
My brother. Good Fathers Only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was on it too. The day
He
said
don't
was gonna
play.
be there, he was there. The time he said he was gonna be there,
He
was
don't
there.
play. He coming to
When
do
he
his
said
work.
the job was gonna be done, it
It's
was
done.
when he said it was gonna be done.
That's right.
Yep.
Right. And so, you're talking about service.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
And now you have word of mouth, which is the best advertising.
Which is the best advertisement.
Oh yeah, he did two other people's furnaces for me.
Yeah.
And he did a repair for my neighbor. So
Big word of mouth.
You see? So we get the whole concept, right? Of why this is so important. And
Calvin,
Yes, dear.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if everybody really understands why this is so important. Why it's important that an economy from this level is really valuable. And the big picture, when we look at our local economy, we talk about where are all of our, for example, our black businesses. Where are those black businesses? And what is the quality or the standard of those businesses? Now, when it comes to food service, it seems that it's a lot more visible, and the need for customer service and those kinds of things. You hear it a lot more frequently when it's about food service, because some of us like to eat, and I'm one of them.
oh no,
But
all of us like to eat.
all of us like to eat. Okay, I'll go with that. I'll take that.
If there's one thing that black folks can do, it's eat. We'll critique some food in a minute.
Yes, we
that's,
will.
That's terrible.
But it's the service. It's not just the food that we go there for. It's the service.
Right.
And what we do is we have a tendency to complain. And we talked about the word of mouth. We'll complain about it, but we won't act proactively with those businesses to help support it and make it better. We'll take our dollar from there, in a way that we won't take from other places that show us the same or worse courtesy. But we also have to remember as consumers that we have a responsibility to be respectful as well. And so we have a lot of mutual lessons that we need to learn as both entrepreneurs and as consumers. There's a level of responsibility for being responsible for how you spend your dollars and where you spend those dollars. That's your responsibility as a consumer. As an entrepreneur, on the other side, we have a responsibility to invest in good service and good product and safe environments for our customers. And I think those are some of the standards that collectively in our community may be lacking. And what we're trying to continue to have this education component in our monthly business shower meetings are how do we now look at the components, not just of showering our businesses and setting a standard to get to a point of hiring, but what are the things that are important in between the lines? What are the things that help draw the line in the sand to make you a great business and an excellent business? What are those lines? And so I think that the education components and the discussions and the speakers that we invite and the things that we talk about are really important, and that we have a real honest and clear look that is solution focused. And I think that's what's missing in a lot of places, is that we're not solution focused. We get caught up in the complaints and the things that we don't like. And one, we don't offer the solutions, and how we approach somebody about the quality of the service or the product that they offer is important. So it's important for them to be able to receive what you say, and not just get mad and take away the dollar from those businesses, typically black businesses, that are not up to your standards. But what can you offer to them to help increase the standard, help improve the standard? We have to change our mindset about how we look at our community, because you can't build it by taking the dollar away. You have to build it by continuing to invest, and invest in that expectation of that business owner, and those employees. So I have a customer sensitivity training program that I offer. I'm trying to still work that out so that the amount of time that it takes to help somebody change their mind or change their thinking or look at something a little bit differently takes more time than most businesses are willing to invest. So it's my task to try to figure out ways to be able to deliver that training to people in a way that's valuable to them, but is also in a way that is impactful, but doesn't take them so much away from the jobs that they have and the time that they have to do it. But ultimately, it has to be an investment in service and training. There's a mindset shift that happens when you cross a threshold as an employee. And there's a mindset that happens when you cross the threshold as an entrepreneur and as a business owner. And I think those are really important tools that we have to keep in mind as we take this journey, and as we continue to shape what we want our community and our world to look like. That's up to us. And we can do that as a consumer, and we can do that as a business owner.
So, as a business owner, right, in that message, business owner, we got to get out of the judgment lane, right? L, just because you ain't got this suit on, well, you ain't got no money. See, you getting out that Benz, you ain't got no money, and you see millionaires walking around in a pair of khakis and a polo 24/7. But somehow we have this mindset that we have to really look a certain way to be considered that way. So that same judgment falls upon your business.
Yeah.
Right? That same judgment falls upon your home. That same judgment falls upon your children, your education, your life. What happens is that judgment causes a reaping effect. So in every area that you carry that judgment, it falls back in a reaping area in your life. Your words are very, very powerful. How you use your words, right? How you use your action and how you use your deeds. Again, there are a number of people who have financial success, doing well, right? And then there are a number of people who don't have financial success on that level and still doing well, right? We still have this idea that you have to be what the perception and not be what the rule is. You see, as a business or as a father, right? It's the perception that the father is no good, but the rule is the father is more than what you are able to accept. Because of the judgment, you miss the value. So it's the same thing. Because of all of this judgment, we miss exactly what we were supposed to get, achieve, and gather from the very things that's in front of our face. If you walk into a business, you go, wow, this is beautiful business. You see these things, you see what's going on, the customer service. And every time I walk into business, I'm going, how did they get the money? I'm like, this is awesome. Like, they put this on. Look at the detail, right? The whole nine. But then it's hard for them to hire. See? Because our lack of value of what that business can teach me, right? Just having this conversation with my daughter. Oh, this $13 an hour. I was like, you getting $13 an hour? Hell, I was getting 10. You getting 13? I was getting 10 when I started. You getting 13 to start. Well, that ain't no money, right? But you understanding the value of the money is more important, right? So you need more money to do all these things that you need to do. But if you reduce those things, now you have the money to do the things you need, plus you're saving. Now you're not saving because all your money is going to all the things you need to do, so you can't save. You're not stacking, right? But your judgment of the money is working against you because you didn't take the time to learn, and you're not listening, and you're judging. So that judgment really impacts the community on all levels. And we seem to think, right, not just, this is not a black thing. This is the United States. We seem to think that our judgments doesn't work against us. This is all cultures. This ain't just no black thing, right? This is a white thing. This is a Hispanic thing. We seem to think that our judgments don't fall back, and they do. And we wonder why. You see? Because God would not be mocked. And man has a tendency, human, we have a tendency to place that judgment on that business and not even get the story. And the person that's running the business needs help, needs people. But because they feel so good about the business that they have, the ego might be in the way, so you can't really draw in. Even I had to evaluate my ego daily. I was sharing that with my uncle the other day. My dad was such a confident man that he bust ego in every last one of his kids. So you got to understand, we all got this swag, right? But how we administer it, how we share it, and how we use it, right, comes back to finding your way to what God wants to use you for, right? So these businesses got these concepts, these ideas, these purposes. What do they need? They need people. They need people to come and see the value of what they did, not come and judge the value of what they don't have. That's tough. So our businesses suffer. You see? Because all we did was judge it, Dave. We walked through the door. Oh, this is a raggedy ass building. Look at this. Oh, yeah. You see? But you don't have nothing. What's that slogan? You don't have a can to piss in and a pot to throw it out or whatever?
Yeah.
You know?
Pot to piss in and one to throw it out.
Right. And so while somebody is trying to build a business, they need people. And they need to have quality relationships with the people that's going in. So I love this. I love the BSN. I love what we have become and what where we're headed, and the fact that we can, we can be like Bebe's kids. We don't die. We multiply. Sprinkle a little water over here. Mm-hmm. We go to shaking.
Mm-hmm. Pop there.
Pop there. So yes, as Tiffany is putting every business in the chat that she could think of. Thank you, Tiff. Tiff a beast. I love Tiffany Nash. She's a beast. Right. And she's usually the first person to support me. Mm-hmm. Out the gates. No question. If it's something new, Bink, she on it. Mm-hmm. Tiff, we go back before BSN. Mm-hmm. See? Where she used to be, and she'll shoot me a calendar, and right? These are all relationships, man, that's been built. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And now here we are. It's no question, right? Even when we set up the networking events for those Fridays, mm-hmm. They all coming. I got to have them there. Mm-hmm. You see? We got to do this. Mm-hmm. Because it's important that to me, it's just important that we teach unity in everything we do.
That's right.
It's just important. Not the expectation. I expect you to unify with me, brother Bull.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're going to show you. We're going to teach you. This is how we do it. Same thing. Good fathers only. Look at it. This is how we doing it. Same thing. Encourage me young. Me future leaders. This is how we do it. So it's just important. Go ahead, Heather. I know you wanted to say something, babe.
I wanted to just also make sure that this invitation and this understanding is also present when we talk about the Business Shower Network. We are not talking about you have to be 21 years or older, you have to be 16 years or older. We are looking to support and help work with entrepreneurs. You can be a 10-year-old entrepreneur. The younger our members are, the stronger our base, the longevity that we have. And so, especially as we're talking about the 50-50 Accord, I know I keep bringing that up, but I think that's a really important component that really provides the glue to this whole concept. That's really important because you have to have that education component. You have to know the value of who you are and whose you are and how far your value goes in terms of the economy that we're trying to build. That is really important. And so I want to make sure that if there are young people, young adults, if there are elders that are out there and they still have these ideas and they're looking for some place that's safe to be able to help cultivate those things, this is the place for you. This is at least a start when you're looking for someone who has your best interest at heart, when you're looking for somebody to encourage you, to support your ideas, to help you think through some of them, to help you with tools and resources and information. This is a good group of people, dynamic people who are made up of so many different industries and so much experience and wisdom that you can't go wrong and you cannot miss. So if you are in that mindset, if you are ready to take this journey and you're trying to get to your next level, either in your business or with your idea or your concept, or you are really, you have a real way that you want to impact our communities, our families, our economy, this is a great place for you to be.
Yes. And the BSN. That's the BSN. Join the BSN Business Shower Network. Dial 313-492-9278. Brought to you by thegoodfathersonly.com. The Business Shower Network. Visit thegoodfathersonly.com and click business and get your business updated, up status, and come join the BSN network.
We also meet the first Saturday of every month.
That was pretty good. I'm your host. The first Saturday every month. Join the Business Shower Network. You can visit www.thegoodfathersonly.com. Click business and send us some information. If you're interested in joining the Business Shower Network, please go to the Business Shower Network, goodfathersonly.com. Click the Business Shower or click the business link and get yourself attached to a group of people who want to see you succeed. Basically, absolutely. That's what we said this whole hour.
And we invite you to that meeting the first Saturday of every month. It starts at 9:30. The other thing I want to make sure that we make sure our listeners leave with is that there's a membership application. It's a simple application, one-page application. There's a $50 membership fee that goes along with that to help support the work that we do throughout the year. And so those two things are important, but attending that first meeting will really put you in the course of what you believe your next steps are. Even if you don't end up and land with us, it will at least encourage you that what you have inside of you has value and purpose. And if you're looking for somewhere to root that purpose, then again, within the Business Shower Network are organizations that can help seed that in whatever area that you're looking to be seeded. So it's not just us as a individual organization in terms of Business Shower Network. It's all the components that make up who we are. And all of those are also individual businesses, individual organizations, individual investment companies, individual. I mean, so it's a lot of resources that are there for you, that something is going to help you get to your next level. Something that we offer within this network can help you get to your next level.
This is the Business Shower Network. Visit www.thegoodfathersonly.com and click business and come join us at the Business Shower Network. Oh, man, they should pay me for that one. Great job, baby. You know, I know I don't appreciate it much. Sometimes I can be a complainer, you know, behind the scenes. But I love where God has put us, the growth, right, and where we're headed, and I love that. I think that's where we are in this at. You know, Dave, I know you've been quiet. If you got something you want to add, this is the time to add.
No, I'm just embracing what you guys are saying, and pretty much you both have said what I probably could have injected in. So, you know, I just say it's important that we teach. In the military, as she said early on from the beginning of the conversation, no one left behind. And we, as people, as African-American people, we begin to leave people behind. But business is what it is. It's not a race, creed, or color. It's an opportunity to make a change into a community, a city, a state, the world. So I think it's important that all these resources that's been presented, that people take advantage of it. Because, again, it's very difficult to find those who want to share, who want to teach, and who wants to help others grow. And when you're trying to help others grow, then everyone become a beneficiary of it. I always like to say, if you look at, if I'm taking care of myself, and then one day you need me to do something, well, if I have the resources, I can help you. Not because I thought you was going to give me a call, but I was taking care of myself. I always use the example when I used to bodybuild.
Right.
I used to say, if you call me 10 years from now and say, hey, I need to move a refrigerator because I heard you can lift 300 pounds, I wouldn't wait for you to make that phone call. That's a long gap of 10 years. But I'm ready to bring something to the table. So that's what you guys are doing. You're building a muscle that when people have a need for it later, you'll be ready to help them out. And that's what this is about. People helping people, community helping community, villages raising the internal family. So now we can get the Black Wall Street. As I heard Barry Gordon say one time on the Temptation story, he said, well, Paul say, well, what about our black people? You know, they like our music. We good right here. He said, what about the world? Barry said, what about the world? We can touch the world. See, because music is universal. Business is universal. Okay, where you going? I've been blessed to be from one continent to another. I've been in countries that don't look like they can have a business, and they were making a fortune. Case in point, when I was in Iraq, they were making DVDs and CDs so we could have entertainment. They were making a fortune because we didn't have it. So business is everywhere, but it's about that unification. And it's about that participation to support everyone as they begin to build their momentum. And that's what Heather's talking about. We get you started at the beginning of the race so you can cross over the finish line and leave that legacy behind for the next group to come.
Yes, sir. So, Heather, Dave did his thing. You did your thing. And now it's time for me to do my thing. One of the things that we are clear about as we continue to work, we didn't leave, as Dave said, we didn't leave anyone behind, right? We made sure that, you know, when we got together, we were putting things together. Am I right, Miss Heather?
Indeed.
And so when you and I started lining up, we started noticing a number of things were in duality. Like, you had an empowerment center, I had an empowerment center. You come from a business incubator, I wanted to create a business incubator, right? Because I didn't like how I was treated, right? I didn't like how I was treated. I didn't like the big U's and the little me's. I don't like that. And I felt that in a lot of rooms. And so for me, it was, so what do you do, right, Dave, right? There are a lot of people that would walk into those rooms and they'll run into some of the same things. I don't want them to experience that. Experience this so you can say, at least here's some love, here's some help, here's some resources, right? And so it all encompasses the whole theme, as you said, Dave, about family. What does family look like? Everything is not perfect in a family. There's a mother, there's a father, there's children. But everything is not perfect. All the children are different. They're not the same. The mom might look at things one way, the dad looks another. But there is a consensus. And there's some working together there so that each and every person in the family has a voice and a place to grow. I look around, I see a number of things. 63% of all suicides come from fatherless homes. When a child has his father from birth to 9 years old, he lives longer. Right? I listen to a whole society and a culture help tear down, right? Including the fathers. They're not exempt. We did a lot of things wrong. The pimps, the players, and the player haters, all of one are the same. Because you wasn't at home, right? You was chasing something else when your kids knew you, but you didn't know your value. You know your value in the streets, but you didn't know your value at home. And now we know our value. And we know the importance of family. And we don't have to lean on, right? We create our businesses for everybody, but we don't have to lean on and demean ourselves to uplift another culture for how they do family. We can do family our way. I say all that to say that it's very, very important that we love the purpose that we're given and stick to it. Stay on the course for that purpose so it could help the community, the family. And it has to be supported by the community and the family. But just like the many examples in the Bible, there will be times that you have to move forward without them. David, Job, Joseph, and many other people. You don't have to condemn them, because they'll be right there 10 years from now when you come back and see them. They'll be in the same spot. But you got to go do what God told you to do. And so family is important. And so I leave that with you on how important family truly, truly is. As you understand that everything that we do here is about putting the family first. My name is Calvin Mann. I'm the president and founder of Encourage Me I'm Young and Good Fathers Only. We have 3 online stores. We have a women's movement. We have BSN. And I ain't tired yet. God told me to keep going. And I'm going back in the studio for some music. And I'm proud to be doing this work. God bless you and have an awesome week. Peace.